We were talking about AI last hour and how, for the next few years, it's going to be a bloodbath. Here's the fear of what's going to happen with AI. And I think people need to understand this. The poorest never lead or start revolutions. Russian Revolution, the Cuban Revolution, by the way. Go look at the French Revolution. It's not the poor that starts it. You know who starts it? Intelligentsia. You've got imagine being a 25-year-old kid. You've lived through COVID, right? You're coming out into the workforce. You just spent $100,000 to get a degree. Even with grants, you still owe 50 G's. And oh, by the way, your job is obsolete already. Obsolete. That's what people are fearing that is going to happen. It's already happening. Just now, Paramount announced they're laying off a bunch of people. And the crazy thing is, what's scary? And I don't know what this says about us. And this is what the wealthy, right, need to figure out. And if I'm Trump, you better figure this out, dude, because let me tell you something. This is a serious issue that is going to separate us in ways we cannot believe. Because you're going to find the wealthy getting so wealthy and the average getting further and further and further away. I forgot that movie with Matt Damon, I think, where he was on the planet, but he wanted to go up in the air because they had that floating planet above. I think it had Jodie Foster in it or something. That's what we're going to be at the rate we're going. They're going to have people worth $1 trillion, and you're going to have people who are waiting for their basic income to come in. If we don't start getting the stuff will come, but you better figure it out because you can't put the genie back in the bottle. And you need to separate what is needed, i.e. militarily. It's vitally important. By the way, I think they launched a few new planes the other day that were only powered by AI. Think about that. Well, that's because they're getting ready for 3i Atlas, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that later. False flag coming this week, so be prepared. Got to be honest. Some of the stuff that I see people saying that I go, that guy's not like that, it kind of creeps me out. It's made of nickel, apparently, which is odd. But what you're going to have is
just the engines.
just the guns they're bringing. What you're going to have is this huge chasm between people that are overly educated with nothing to do, and they're going to have some access, some of them, because everything's going to be gone. And they're going to go, okay, well, this can't be. This can't be. And that's the fear that, I worry about. You see socialism on the rise. You see all of these things where they're talking about, well, these young kids are looking around going, I got nothing. I got bills. I was told I needed to go to college to get a degree. I got a degree. Really, what you got was a giant receipt that you're going to pay off and remind yourself every month forever what you did for 4 to 6 years. And you're going to work to barely stay above water at the rate you're going. And probably most Gen Z people, they've given up on trying to, and Gen Alpha and stuff, owning a house. They're waiting for mom and dad to die and hopefully get theirs. It sounds horrible, but it's true. I mean, that's sad, I mean, it really is.
Trade schools are getting ready to see a boom.
Yeah, but we only need so many plumbers.
That's the thing.
At some point in time, how many electricians? How many plumbers do we need? I mean, everybody poops, but you know what? Not everybody needs their own plumber. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting. Falling around with the toilet. Got to do what you got to do, Chad. I'm just telling you. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this thing out. I mean, the amount of jobs I think we're going to see almost eliminated. Like, think about if you're in the tax world right now. And I'm not talking about one of those great accountants that, what I'm talking about, like the Hollywood kind of accountant, that your movie can make $800 million and it costs $1 to make and you took a $700 million loss. I'm not talking about that great person. I'm talking about the average accountant across the board at those big, giant firms. You can eliminate all of those people, minus a few. Amazon said they want to run like a startup.
The thing that I struggle with is, the left is always talking about how CEOs are rich and filthy and horrible people because they make so much more money than the average person. And, CEOs want you dirt poor, so you won't be able to afford the stuff they sell.
Which is going to be
their, so if they're eliminating all these jobs, at some point they're going to hit a point where they don't have customers.
Yeah, well, there's the whole rub on the whole thing. At some point, do you come out and you limit because not only that, but governments need tax revenue. Without tax revenue, they don't survive. Without tax revenue, government means nothing, right?
And nor does socialism.
No, none of it.
Because without that government money.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about SNAP. Well, you know what? If they funded the government, SNAP would be going out. You know where SNAP comes from? Tax revenue. And I look around and I think to myself, my God, what are we going to, I look at my kids and I go, I hope you guys, play the lottery. I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point because I tell Jack to get out of school as fast as you can to get into that trade school so you can get a head start. And there will be things in 4 or 5 years. But do you think, I was sitting there going, I think government's going to have to come in some ways and say, all right, look, militarily, we're going to do whatever we need to do, but we're going to cap certain industries when it comes to the AI. Because if we eliminate everybody, like you said, man, who's going to buy it if nobody can afford anything?
Right.
Yeah, you can run like a startup all you want to, but if people don't buy your product, then you're going to go broke too.
Mass foreclosures.
Yes. That's it. Even now, I was looking at a lot of people, because I think what we're seeing now is a lot of parents are starting to help these kids. They've seen the rates come down. And the parents are like trying to figure out, okay, do we get a second house and the kids take it over? I mean, it's so frustrating out there. And I get it, and I've got kids. I've got a 17-year-old and I've got a 15-year-old and soon to be a 15-year-old and a 7-year-old. And I'm looking out there and thinking, what are they going to, what are they looking at? The Amish. Maybe the Amish have it right. I don't know. The Amish.
Anybody who lives off nature has it right.
Do you know that there's an Amish sect in the Amazon? There is an Amish sect in the Amazon that are all crackers.
I'm going to go join them.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I've already got the goatee. I'll cut it a little bit if they need me to.
Are these people that have moved from the U.S. down to the Amazon?
No, I think what happened is they moved there originally when everybody came over, the Puritans and whatnot, they all came over. And I think they just stayed there and continued to, but there just wasn't a ton of them. And so and I was surprised to find out they got a huge Mennonite, like a decent sized Mennonite population there, but it's going to be, everybody's like, well, you can be carpenters. You better learn how to speak Spanish, but you can be, that's great. But if there's 5,000 people who are applying for a job to be a carpenter, we start running out of the things to do. So that's why, AI is, it's a wonderful, amazing thing. And it's going to help us do a lot of stuff. And at the same time, I sit there and I go, when we were talking last night, my uncle and he said, here's the big thing. We created something that will find us obsolete within 3 to 5 years because it'll be smarter than anything has ever lived on our planet outside of God. And it will think us no more than pets. And I'm like, oh God.
As long as they feed me on time.
I know. Are they going to carry around one of those little purses? And the robots, too, by the way, the robots, which are getting extremely affordable, are also, then the question becomes, when does the robot talk to the AI computer-based version of it and it joins forces? Because even Gronk, right? If you guys have not seen anything about Gronk, the people that are working on Gronk every day, they said, this is what's amazing about it. We don't know how it does it, but it's repairing itself and reprogramming itself. So when it messes up, it reprograms that, it fixes that part and moves on. So it's already getting to that level. And wait till, we get to the point where computing, the ridiculous computing comes in. And then we're going to find out that this is going to get crazy. Crazy, I said. Meanwhile, maybe
2934 had a good question. It's like, if they foreclose on your house, who the hell's going to buy it from the bank?
Well, yeah. Well, that's why it goes back to the same thing. If nobody's got money, doesn't matter if they foreclose. So, but are we all just going to get universal basic income for a while?
From where?
That's just it. From where? Where we get that?
That's the thing.
It's that whole, and there will be more millionaires and more billionaires that will come out of this. The problem is, if you don't get into it early, the fear is it's going to get away from everybody. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have literally the haves with everything and then everybody else in the world, which leads to chaos. And unlike other revolutions, they have an army of drones. So people, the size of the group may not matter if they could blow everybody up at once. This is fun. That's why I'm going to be a shark. You know what a shark's worrying about now? Nothing. Swimming around, thinking I'm going to go swim, eat, maybe make a little baby, see if I catch one of those seals.
Making babies and eating.
That's what they do. That is what they do. You know, Bell, your whole thought about building an underground bunker.
Luxury.
Did you see
underground bunker?
How many luxury bunkers have been built now by the ultra wealthy?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that's probably because of 3i Atlas coming, which is supposed to Friday. Something was supposed to happen. That's what I've been told. People are like, take your vacation days now. Something's happening. And I'm like, what's happening?
Maybe those Rapture people got the date wrong, and that's when it's going to happen.
You know who got it wrong? It was crazy San Diego people with their shoes. They got it all wrong. Heaven's Gate. They did. This was the one
Wrong
they were
comet.
waiting for. Yeah, this was the one they were waiting for. Because if you think about it, that comet was here all those years ago, and they said it was behind this comet. Well, in theory, this is behind the comet. And if you think about infinity, time-wise, it's not too far behind it. Just a decade or so. That's nothing. That's nothing. People can all pick vegetables, says one. Government needs tax revenue to function. They do. They do need tax revenue to function, and that's going to be, how does that happen? But see, then what happens is government becomes your end-all to be-all. Because they will be the people that, you know, we're seeing this in a mini way right now, where you are going to need them to supply you with certain things. Which is, it's awesome, but scary at the same time.
Yeah, the people that provide you with something control that aspect of your life.
Yeah, can take it away. So there is the...
And we know how government does that.
Yes, and we're seeing it now, for God's sakes. In the battle that's going on. The battle's not about us. It's about who wins. Their battle between each other. That's it. Because they think if we win this, we win the midterms. So not whether or not you eat or our air traffic controllers aren't worried as they're trying to land a gazillion planes at once. No, they're thinking if we win this, we win the midterms.